as the final ban from Genji.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's got to be Rumble,
Yeah.
right? You gotta lock it in right from the get-go. Been his second game ever, but he looks perfectly capable in the first one.
Do they take the Jarvan away is the question, or do they not care about it?
I don't think they do, based on what they've shown thus far.
Yeah, they've been giving Jean the Jarvan every game.
I don't think they should, because I think that Jarvan Rumble is a combination that it's going to be very unpleasant to play into.
It's going to be Jarvan, Rumble, Orianna.
Yes.
Remember that. Like, do they just do Via Kali again? I think they're just going to do Via Kali again. They're saying, all right, take your Jarvan, take your Ori. We don't care. We're going to play Via Kali into it. The pressure is on. Genji using the most of their time to really think about what they want to do after this. The Vi's locked in, and you would imagine that, oh, is that a Jarvan Orianna? What a surprise. And you have to imagine the Akali Insalok.
It's got to be, right?
Yep.
Chovy had such a good performance on it in Game 4, winning the laning phase, which was very surprising into the Nico matchup here. The Orianna.
Would love to say that we're really smart with these predictions. Unfortunately, I feel like they're very predictable. Now I imagine Caitlyn Aphelios, and then on BLG side, it's probably going to be Nautilus Rel. They really didn't like the fact that Delight had so many high-impact plays on the Rel last game.
What I'm looking towards as well is what is Genji actually going to pick for AD carry? Because I feel like the Kai'Sa into what BLG already have is going to be extremely hard to play out, even though it does synergize well with the rest of the team.
I mean, the question is, like, Genji's just going to do Kalista again, right?
You'd imagine they would.
Really struggled in laning phase.
But I don't know if that matters.
Yeah.
Because, like, they're going to sit there and say, do you really want to do Ashtam Kunch again?
True.
They're going to... I don't know. The Aphelios is gone. Now the question is, to BLG ban away the Rel? Because maybe they sit there and go, if you didn't have Rel, that Kalista would have been even worse.
Yep.
So they ban away the Rel and they say you can have Kalista again. Or BLG say, we don't want to deal with the fact that you could play Kalista, so we're just going to ban that away. And then that opens up the Kai'Sa potentially for Genji, with which then BLG has to come up with a different plan.
Wouldn't hate the Tristana from Elk. It is going to be the Kalista, as you pointed out. So the strongest pick on paper right now would be Kai'Sa. It works well with the rest of the comp. It is going to get locked in. Counter pick again for Delight. His Rel and his Alistar both still available.
I think they might do Trist. I think you're right. When I look at this, you need an AD carry with Zeri or Trist. It's one of those two. You need something with mobility that can peel for itself. In an ideal world, they're thinking like Zeri Rel, maybe Tristana Rel. Oh, okay, so this has become the new counter. Okay, don't get baited. I was excited for a second there. I don't love Bard, Kai'Sa. I do like that.
I think Rel works well again.
I think they need it. I think they need a form of engage, and why would you change it when Delight had such a great game in Game 4? So Senna, Tahm Kench. A scaling option still, but not really that much safer. If anything, I would say Senna is squishier than the Ashes.
Should at least be able to contest more in lane. I do think Senna has a pretty good time into the Kai'Sa specific.
Oh,
but
yeah.
that was the same, honestly, for Ashe. Last time, we saw that the laning phase didn't end up mattering that much. That, to me, the big difference maker is that Rumble. And I think it's going to be so important for Genji that Doran doesn't have to win the lane. But if Bin gets fed, I think this game becomes almost unplayable very quickly for Genji. I also think Delight, in the last game, as good as he was enabled by the fact that there was a Fate Skull, allowing him to go for much riskier plays, and then go for re-engage as well. That's not going to be there. But his engage is still going to be pivotal if Genji wants to complete the reverse sweep. Level 1, though, for BLG, between J4, Senna, and Kench. Going to be a very scary thing. Wouldn't be surprised if they go for an invade again.
It's crucial to remember the last game, even though Genji won, Shock said it on the desk, it wasn't one-sided. Yeah. BLG were dominating the early game. BLG got themselves a Baron. Excuse me. It was Delight's pick in the mid lane that turned the game around. This series could go either way. Obviously, one of these teams will be moving on towards the semi-final. Will it be an LPL matchup, or will it be the first seed of the LCK to represent them here in Korea? It's our last game of the series, gentlemen. I hope we have a banger.
Delight paths up towards the top lane early on, places a ward to spot. If Bin was doing anything a little bit sneaky, he can reset, go down towards the bottom side. Peanut once again starting on his top side camps. Yagao using the ball to spot out any late invades that could come out from Genji. And I think it's going to be all quiet on the western front between these two teams early on.
Yeah, I was actually expecting BLG, because they did in the last game as well, right? To really try and push. Maybe they'll go for a late invade. Shun is going to get intel as to what Peanut's pathing is going to be. Peanut this time around did not go for a sweeper, so we'll just have to accept that he is going to get tracked. And BLG, no invade in this crucial game number 5.
You know, when your tournament life is on the line, the random thought that I had is, imagine you're Shun and you just played 5 games of Jarvan. What a team player. He's obviously had an incredible series on the champion. I think that he has really been the reason why BLG have found so much success in the early game. I was optimistic that this series was going to be about the junglers. And while I think that BLG's early game presence has really shown up thanks to Shun, I think that Peanut has been a little quiet outside of what we've seen in perhaps game 1. Delight.
Oh, ignited early here. Use that piercing darkness to heal himself up a little bit. Delight just trying to trade health bars early on. Only Elk's 6th ever game on the Senna. Has a 40% win rate on it, but it's harassing Pays and Delight early in the lane.
Definitely a big risk you take there. Like, both Senna and Kench level 1 is so incredibly impressive, but it allows Pays and Delight to actually get control of the wave early, and we won't be seeing Shun path towards the bot time this time around. Maybe looking for an invade onto Peanut here. We did see Yagao actually able to place a ward early on.
Yagao has a much higher health bar as well. If he does move early, you can see Chovy has been chunked out.
I'm not actually sure who got the big raptor.
So
there.
Peanut got the big one, but Shun got, I think, all the small ones.
Shun is going to be forcing Peanut up towards the top side. Doran does have Mega Knight and can move across. Ignite on Bin, though. And the advantage in terms of summoners.
Fight that.
He will fight that.
Yeah, I mean,
Shun has
the problem, the problem Peanut has is he doesn't have prio anywhere. Doran's being zoned away, and look, Chovy can't do anything. Look at the bullying that Yagao was putting on the mid right now. Chovy is so low. Doran also in a bit of an awkward position. Our observers highlighting how awkward this is for Genji in the early game, and Shun is looking.
Doran underneath the tower. EQ flashes over. Doran able to flash away. The Ignite will take him down, and he will fall first blood to BLG.
Shun's Jarvan, man. 5 games in a row, and this man is still hot. Beautiful first blood for BLG in the face of Peanut. Shun finds it for Bin.
And that's the kill going to Bin.
Yep.
As mentioned, the Rumble, I think, has been such a big impact, or has had such a big impact in this series. And it is the early invade from Shun using the prio on both lanes. Doran taking so much poke. Peanut can't walk up. Not confident in a 1v1 against Jarvan early on, especially with red buff. And
does he actually get the knockup
No,
pick?
I think he flashes over him. Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Even then. And then Doran doesn't actually get the hop.
He doesn't get the hop, no. You're right.
I don't know if it would have mattered, though.
Maybe
with
not.
Bin still being able to do the damage. Mininar, incredibly squishy. So this is exactly the start BLG are looking for.
You can see Elkanon getting the push down towards this bottom side as well. Peanut working his way down here. Did manage to get his red buff eventually. Might just look for a tri-bush gank. No wards here for BLG.
Some's available.
They have to be skeptical, though. Ping coming down from Shun. He's heading towards the Krugs. Level 4 now here. Elk drops a ward.
But Delight can just go in. Get on with the stun. There's the crash down. Elk going to try and keep Peanut and Bay. Bay gets him with the last embrace in the Abyssal Voyage from On. Means that he will live to fight another day.
So, wow. I was going to say the problem now is Peanut spent a decent amount of time and Shun has just come back out onto the map. Look, he's got a phage in his inventory. Peanut hasn't had an opportunity to spend any of his gold yet. But overall, looks like not too much is going to come off the back of that. Flash burn for On. And BLG hold on to a decent gold lead for now.
And Bin with a sizable lead up towards this top lane. Very hard now for Doran to play out this lane, especially since Bin went for the plated steel caps first. We'll mention, I think, Elk and On could be optimizing the center Tahm Kench a little bit more. You can farm a little bit on the center in this lane.
Oh, Shun.
Shun looking down towards this bottom lane is spotted. Pays and Delight should know that he peeked his head around the corner, but yeah, you can get about 30 CS at the 10-minute mark, 70 at the 20 mark, and then when you've completed your warding item, you can actually sell it, switch that over to the Tahm Kench, and then farm up through the late game. Means you avoid the situation where Senna isn't getting enough gold in the mid game.
And right now, we do see with Bin almost has his Ignite available again with the ultimate. Surely going to be looking to try and punish Doran. Chovy is level 6. Wasn't able to have that big of an impact in the early game last time around. And with Gen.G already in a sizable deficit, might have to do some more heavy lifting early on. Also, take a look at the vision. Again, Peanut is getting tracked. I think his early presence in the last game was really big for Gen.G. This time around, not going to have as much of an impact as Bin. Roaming towards mid here, just to make sure, I think, that Yagao can shove out this wave.
But it is what priority in the lanes get you to.
Yeah.
Like Bin pushes in the wave, goes place a ward at the Krug. Spot lane gets pushed in, On can walk up, place a ward at the blue buff. You can see even now Yagao actually the one to get that ward over the wall. And BLG using the fact they have push mid, push bot, will get the first Drake of the game. A little later than some of the ones we've seen, but still relatively fast at only 7 minutes in.
Overall, a quieter the game. Obviously, the pressure is pretty overwhelming for both these teams. For one, their year will be over. For the other, we'll have an opportunity to go up against Weibo in the semifinals next week. And then we talked about it in the draft, a player that over the last few games has been a little quiet, but you know that he can, I shouldn't say can, he is the monster of the top lane. Against the best top laners in the world, he's been able to find solo kills. He's a presence that will always be known on the Rift, and on this Rumble with the lead that he already has, he's looking to do that in this game, but Chovy gonna look to do the same. We're getting to a point in the matchup where the Orianna will start to be very scared of the Akali. The 100-0 isn't going to be ever present, but if she ever gets down to about the 60-70% HP margin, there's a real window for Chovy to force her, if not lethal, back to base, and it could open up a window. The Herald spawns, and it's BLG that's first to the objective.
There's still a ward there, but I don't think even with awareness, Gen.G necessarily is going to look to contest that. Pre-first item on Chovy, plus the fact that Bin is as strong as he is. Really
well, there is a window here where Gen.G's bot lane could move. They have the wave pushed in bot, but looks like they're deciding against it. Peanut choosing to reset, wants to spend some of his money as Shun also makes his way back out onto the map.
You can see Delight moving up towards the mid lane, maybe seeing if Yagao overextends. Still only level 5, needs one of these minions to hit level 6, so can just leech away some of the mid lane XP. Shun in the area though makes it a little bit more tricky for Delight to find anything. Delight actually may have just been here to leech the XP so we can get back towards the bottom lane at level 6 before that wave crashes in.
Phase. Able to dodge away, not going to be too scared. They also have, I'm pretty sure, Soul Shun there, so we'll be aware of where he is as Peanut. Now starting this up, we'll see. There is an opportunity here for BLG to try and punish towards the bot side of the map. Don't know if they've read the play yet, because they don't have vision on Herald.
It's also really tricky to dive a level 6 Kai'Sa and a level 6
Oh yeah,
Rell.
don't get me wrong. I don't think that needs to be the play, but you want
There's
to
a
try
possibility,
something.
yeah. I agree with you. There's the Rift Tower picked up for Peanut. Neutral objectives traded early on here. Dragon for BLG. And the Herald going over to Gen.G. Sense the tension in the cast, never mind the
so
tension for the
tense.
players.
I was also just kind of like looking across the minimap, looking for things to talk about, because it's a very like dead state, you know, where there aren't a huge amount of opportunities on either side. It's very difficult to gank bot lane, I think, on both sides, because what real threat do you have with a center Tahm Kench? But at the same time, what threat does Gen.G have into center Tahm Kench? Mid lane, there are possibilities. I think if anywhere, I think Gen.G could look to be more proactive around mid. At the very least, forcing the flash out from Yagao then gives Chovy more kill potential. Whereas BLG, I think if they wanted to play around anywhere, they're looking at top lane, and Shun is hovering around that area of the map, but Delight is there to cover. But this is what I mean by a dead state, is that like every potential play, I was like, oh, maybe they can make a play for top. What's happening? Someone is there to cover. Maybe mid, someone's there to cover. And both teams kind of like when you're in this state, when you've got 5 games on stage, well 4 I should say, into your 5th, you're just ultra aware of what's going on the map.
Pull back onto Bin, there's the equalizer, stun coming out, Magnet Storm used as well. Peanut can come in with the cease and desist, but Bin flashes away just in time to avoid that follow-up from the Vi.
Big win there with Ignite and Flash gone. Gen.G have the opportunity to maybe set up a play. We'll see if BLG can find anything on the other end of the map, but I do agree with you. That's, I think, the one downside to the Senna Kench. It is very hard to try and make these aggressive plays, really punish on the other end of the map. Also looks like Elk is going for the lethality build. We've seen mostly the, we've seen both Storm Razor and I don't think we've seen any Kraken Slayers yet. Peanut maybe here on the return, but Shun full health. I don't think there's a lot of opportunity there.
I wonder what they'll do with this Herald. My instinct is that they'll drop it bot, but
It's kind of expiring as
what
well,
they've
though.
been doing, yeah.
I feel like they don't have enough time to drop it bot when you look at the timer on the eye.
It's just for Doran.
I guess they just want to kill Bin and open up the top tower. He has no flash. Nope, he's based. All right, well, he's got to drop it somewhere. Where you gonna drop?
Oh, it also actually, the timer on the eye may be misleading because it's actually the timer on the Oracle's alteration.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so
Our bad.
That one has gotten me a bunch of times.
Yeah.
That's on me.
But now I have no idea what the timer on the Herald is.
well, we'll see where he places it. We'll assume that Peanut will know what he wants to do with it.
I would imagine so.
I don't know. You know, knowing Peanut,
Yeah.
I'd say the chance is
50-50.
Yeah, absolutely. We've even seen it in this game, right?
TP. Whoa, whoa.
Ooh,
That's on a ward
heavy
as well.
Contest.
So they know that Yagao has TP.
Oh, it's for the dragon.
They
Okay.
pretty much know it's down towards this bottom lane. The Dragon started up by BLG, investing all 5 members into this, and you can see Gen.G accepting the fact that BLG invest the resources. We don't really want to have to react instantaneously to it, so instead we'll give it up. Get push in top lane, still going in. No TP available for BLG now, because of course Bin is running the Ignite.
I love it. This is great.
It's a
Gen.G's
good
comfort
sign
zone.
for the LCK.
Everyone's going to be so quick.
Yeah.
It promotes action, which we haven't gotten a whole lot of in this game number 5 thus far.
All right, here it comes. Peanut threatening the dive on top lane.
Delight's in the area as well. Could work his way up here. Do you place the Herald? Looks like they're not doing it yet. Peanut waits around the corner, so he's not spotted
He's
by the control
suspicious.
ward.
He doesn't
Bin,
like this at all.
should be suspicious. Delight now spotted on a ward, can jump the wall. Bin retreating, Rift Herald down. It looks like Gen.G will be happy with the sacrifice of Bin not getting any of this CS or XP for the Rift Herald charging it.
It's a big win, though. Gen.G should be able to get first turret off of this and make sure that Doran gets back from, or gets out of his deficit that was set up earlier with Bin getting the early kill. And there is no cross map. You saw everyone on BLG decided to recall the moment they saw the play. So it wasn't really an opportunity for them to look on the other end of the map.
So the gold is slightly in favor of Gen.G,
Yeah,
but
swings
by
a
and
little bit.
large, it's dead even. Very similar to what we've seen a number of times throughout this series. The ebb and flow, the back and forth. We talk about tension, and again, it's important to understand how much responsibility is on the weight of the shoulders of both these teams. The TP.
They didn't know Shun was here. You do now, double TP invested. Bin, still no flash, does have the equalizer. Chovy dancing around, cease and desist available to Peanut. Doesn't use it because Bin is already done for. Chovy takes the kill. Meanwhile, the Magnet Storm onto Elk. He tries to flash away. Pays stepping forward, has the killer instinct on, is pushing in the side lane. No TP for him to join the fight. Yagao with the shockwave, but Pays takes him out. The killer instinct finds its mark. Doran locked up with the last embrace, but I don't think he is in too much danger.
And it is nothing happening until the map explodes. Double TP invested by Gen.G, punishing Bin. And on the cross map, there isn't anything available. Yagao gets taken down as well. I think he tried to like flash and then take the Orianna ult with him, but instead just ends up throwing his flash into nothing. The only benefactor for BLG is on.
It's
Gensh.
It's a situation where I love Gen.G as the game has gone on. They've kind of realized, hang on a minute, we should just attack Bin.
Yeah.
No flash, no TP. BLG are pretty good at using Bin to collapse on sides with his TP, and he's used to being left on an island, but now that playstyle is leaving him exposed. Jun is in the area, but the double TP commit along with the collapse from Peanut means that Shun can really do nothing. He understands this, he's forced to back away, and it's Chovy that picks up a kill, but Gen G, they're not done yet. Look at this engage from Delight. Pei is on the backline, does get disengaged. I thought he was going to ulti in. He chooses not to overextend. Yagao goes for a last-minute play, throws away his flash, and now Chovy's in danger.
Chovy can dash away with perfect execution, though, and that's Yagao's TP invested on, and Elk are in the mid lane. Rift Herald available to Shun as well, but Doran's going to get a bot lane tier 1 for this.
At the very least, BLG are able to make sure that they get a topside turret. Doran will immediately answer back. And we'll see if Gen G is able to respond or if BLG is going to get another charge. And this, you know, the only goal, they obviously, the way that...
Yeah, match up on
exactly.
with the Pays, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But even then, like, it's still a gold lead for on, but that's not who you want to be in a good position in this game. And the most remarkable to me is the top side, right? Because Doran was getting dove early on, but BLG haven't been able to build upon it.
This is also just that shift from Gen G where they realize, wait, let's just actually keep attacking top. Let's commit the Herald top. Let's have Peanut constantly shadow. And remember, BLG even committed the Orianna TP bot lane. They brought the Rumble down, and that was a big window where Doran could get a bunch of plates back as well. So things looking up right now for Gen G.
And compositionally, Gen G have a traditional AD carry as well, which Senna is not. Elk sitting on the Umbral, and the completed warding item hasn't been farming. And all that gold sitting on has that locket. He has been the beneficiary of the early trades and of that play, but in all honesty, Gen G now 2,000 gold ahead, looking in prime position if they can continue this trend.
Dragon spawning in 20 seconds. It's actually BLG that are first to this objective. They make their way into the river and they start to clear out the vision. A bit of hesitation from Gen G as they have 3 members hovering around that mid-tier 1. Peanut needs to be very careful walking through this fog of war. But keep your eyes on Chovy on the minimap. Look at how he's navigating through the jungle, and he's trying to look for a flank.
When it comes to defensive atomization, Pays actually has a stopwatch available. Elk does have his Umbral Glaive, so they should be able to deny some vision here. Gen G looking for a multi-pronged engage, but I think
so
BLG, they know.
They're really worried. They don't know where Akali is. And Chovy is just leveraging the fog of war. Bin is trying to spot him out. The pings are coming down.
Yagao.
Has he found him?
Chovy. Oh, Yagao with the sidestep was going back to the wave, but
still the Dragon though.
Gen G used the time to take the Drake, and BLG will have Prio down the mid lane, but how much can they get out of that? The tower's still standing for now, but not for much longer. It will be full FL. BLG get some small prize at the end.
Good counter punch there, identifying that Doran's Meganar is almost about to time out, so Gen G don't really want to look as Chovy.
A tongue lash would stun him here. And Lock Spirit can't find it. Chovy with a good dash.
I mean, if On got the Devour there, that could have been Chovy's life, so he has to respect it. Flashes away. Peanut also now looking for something. He may just take the Raptors here. Is Yagao going to face check? Surely he has the ball. Yeah, okay. Yep. He's not going to run the risk. Wow. We talk about tension. No one yet to pull the trigger. We've only got 3 kills in this game.
This is great. This is my the only downside.
Cloud Soul, 3 kills. Just another day in the office for you.
Yeah, the only downside is normally in the LCK, you know, that you can talk about really whatever you feel like, but the gravitas of the situation is that it's 1 best of 1. One mistake here, one person gets caught, you know, you start the snowball in the other direction, can go very, very quickly. So not even I feel good about this. Because we just have to wait.
Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen, how this game will turn out. Doran moves off to a side lane. Chovy kind of freezing top, slow pushing rather, I should say, because that doesn't look like it's really frozen. Peanut gets spotted out by Yagao's ball. And I just want to mention, okay, very small thing. Chovy is running the DRX Akali skin.
Yeah.
And it's a bit poetic that it was in Game 5 last year in the semi-final that Chovy actually lost to DRX. I don't remember if it was Zeka's Akali. I think it was his Silas.
I think it was his Silas.
But to channel that energy, you know, the Zeka energy, to have that carry performance, I kind of respect it from Chovy.
It's also Gen G or sorry, Chovy specifically, like DRX 2020, which was Doran, Pioshik, Chovy, Deft, and they still meet up to this day, right? They still, I'm not kidding, they still have sleepovers with the whole gang because the team meant that much to them. For Chovy, repping the skin and again, prioritizing the Akali so highly. This is a player who has had the reputation of not making the impact.
I mean, I've heard the comment, is he the best player to have never won a World Championship, right? Like an international title still eludes Chovy. I think it's a pretty interesting discussion. Not that we're going to have it here, but it just goes to show like how high of a pedestal this man is put on. But in any case, the Baron is alive. Dragon now spawning in about 2 minutes' time. BLG, a lot of weight on their shoulders as well. The last time they met Gen.G, they were able to defeat them 3-0. Leading this series 2-0. Having a slower game like this, no clear winner just yet. But you feel like the next fight, the next big 5v5 is ultimately what will decide the outcome of this game.
It's got to be right. And you see as well, both teams really staying together.
Oh my God, he's forcing the Baron. They have no vision.
They don't know.
They know.
Now they know that BLG are on their way across. Chovy pushing in the bot lane has the TP.
Doran
is here as well, almost got the Mega Nard. Delight can jump in. BLG looks like they're second guessing themselves. Doran dashing forward. BLG pull off the Baron.
They just wanted the TP out from Chovy. Gen.G didn't take the bait. They knew that they weren't under any real pressure, and this is giving Chovy a window now to push in this tier 2.
If they're just going to start
yeah, they go back to it, of course.
Hayes is all the way down towards the blue as well.
Whoa. This is a massive mistake from Gen.G.
BLG won't do it too quickly. It's only Shun, Yagao, and Bin there
Doran
right now.
Mega,
coming in as well.
But
Doran's
they don't
about
know.
to fall off Mega. Delight can step forward. The control ward in the Baron pit allows Gen.G vision of it. Elk still trying to do what he can. The equalizer down. Pays on as well.
Oh,
the Storm hits on 3. Chovy dives onto the backline but misses. The Shuriken as Delight will fall first. Hayes doing everything he can as Peanut has to dash away. The Senna will hit him from long range. Now Doran forced away. It's a 2-for-1 so far in favor of BLG. Doran just able to scrape his way away.
Wow, what an intense exchange. It is BLG that get the kills, but the Baron does not fall.
Oh, and the read from BLG there, right? Peanut just going towards the bot side, sees some juicy jungle camps, but they almost have to pay for it with a Baron. Mininar also there for Doran, so I think BLG definitely had the right idea, but that engage from the light took away so much of the opportunity. If Chovy actually hits that Shuriken, maybe he gets to kill the light. Not gonna be the case, and instead it's a 1-for-2 with no one getting the Baron.
I mean, that Rumble ultimate from Bin also just completely stopped the follow-up from Delight's engage. Frustration on the side of the BLG coaching staff. An incredibly tense situation.
Chovy going in, caught with the last embrace, but he goes into the Twilight Shroud. TP now invested by Gen.G. The Dragon
flash Shun.
Doran able to dash away. Shun going in with Cataclysm, but now Delight can really open up. Magna Storm not quite off cooldown. Doran has a stopwatch, but all he can buy is the second. The equalizer now out. Doran falls. Chovy looking to hit him. He dashes back in, but the Abyssal Voyage brings him forward. And Chovy is shut out of the fight. BLG find 2.
And that might be it. That might be the moment that BLG have been looking for. They're gonna run towards the Baron. Doran waits too long with the stopwatch. Wants to get his Meganar, ends up going down and then on. Knocks up Chovy, that's gonna be Baron.
Doran holds his flash. Gen.G, they're uncoordinated and BLG pounce. Look at this, Chovy goes in. A quick TP from Yagao to get involved in the fight as quickly as possible. The TP response from Doran on flashes away. And then keep your eyes on Doran here. He gets engaged by Shun. And then he can flash away at this point, but then the shockwave comes through. He's isolated from his team, and then look at this Rumble ult from Bin. Absolutely massive. Forces Gen.G to retreat, and then the knock-up from On.
Chovy hits the Shuriken onto On. Sees him going forward with the Abyssal Voyage and tries to chase him down. I wonder if he didn't quite track who he'd hit the Eon in that fight. Gets knocked up by On and is immediately in the middle of BLG, and now with a Red Bull Baron power play for the next 2 minutes, Gen.G's backs are against the ropes. The gold lead basically even as Chovy looks for a flank position, has the flash, has the perfect execution. No flash, but on nor Bin nor Shun. But Chovy will be spotted on a control ward.
Peanut.
Should be able to dash away from this one.
The arena is full of dread right now. The hometown favorites of Gen G. Ultimate, Peanut.
Onto Shun, the killer instinct going forward as well. They can lock Shun up and they'll shut him out. The shutdown over to Pays.
And it's a sigh of relief in the arena. All of the fans feel like that the pressure from BLG, just like that, has been alleviated. An important pick for Gen G to slow BLG down. A minute left still on the Baron, but I'm not sure they can get much off the back of it.
It's been a recurring theme as well. I think in this series, the Baron power plays, every single time a team tries to push just a little bit too far forward, there have been counter plays. Both teams basically dead even after the Baron. It's 2 dragons to 2. Summoners about to be up for everyone as well. And BLG, they got the Nash, but it's not enough to break open the game.
Elk now sitting on 100 sacks on this center. A little bit slower than you'd like, but still scaling up to infinity. Delight looking for the flank position here.
Look at the damage.
Flash Magnet Storm. It's a possibility. Decides against it. Peanut pushing mid on his lonesome. Shun trying to answer this top lane. Baron remains for 30 seconds. Delight spotted by Shun. Mid lane tower falls to Gen G, but BLG will get a tier 2 in the top lane in answer.
Baron's still here. BLG, they know where Peanut is. Chovy can TP though, but ideally he wants the back. Doesn't get to.
Now TPing in as well. Chovy gets in. Has to dash away, but Shun's still able to land. The knock of the shockwave was waiting, couldn't quite find his mark, but the flames are spitting from Bin, and Chovy cataclysmed into an early grave, and now Gen G on the back foot. BLG, 5 members strong, will take the inhib. Will they look for more?
I mean, why wouldn't they? They have the Nexus in their eyes. BLG are looking to end it here.
Pays, Doran, Delight, and Peanut. 4 members strong for Gen G trying to defend, but BLG, as 5 push in, the first Nexus tower down. Delight can still engage. The shockwave finds 2, but the Magnet Storm from Delight onto the backline immediately locks up BLG for a second. The Gnar back from Doran as well. It's all on Pays. He's trying to do everything he can. The cease and desist under the tower will shut out Bin. Pays dancing and weaving his way around the fight. No minions left though, but BLG means they have to back away.
Gen G hold on to their Nexus. It takes everything that they have, but they're able to defend. BLG were so close, but they could not take down Pays. They could not take down that AD carry, and the game will continue.
And it's the ability of BLG to punish these type of mistakes that makes them so lethal. Chovy gets hit by the flag and drag. Bin toasts him up, and then without his flash, Chovy ends up, or rather after flashing, Chovy ends up getting taken down. And then BLG, they smell blood. And it's Doran, I think, with the Mega Gnar that actually extends the play for long enough.
He takes so much damage, he's forced to go back to base, get some health back. Delight gets a great engage here. The shockwave looks terrifying, but Delight buys so much time. And then a good ultimate from Doran. Bin actually gets tower aggro, then gets chain CC'd, giving Pays the opportunity. If he hadn't made that mistake, all 5 members would have stayed alive. But a sigh of relief.
Yep.
Incredible stress on the side of Gen G. A dragon is likely going to go in the favor of BLG. The gold is pretty much dead even, but it feels like that this series has been all about momentum. And right now, BLG are riding that towards the enemy's base.
See the win probability powered by AWS starting to swing in their favor. 1 Drake away from a Cloud Soul. They are 1 Nexus tower away from a Nexus. 1 moment away from a semi-final matchup with Weibo. For Gen G, they fought back this series once already. After game 2, they looked done and dusted, buried in the dirt. But game 3, game 4, they gave it their all, and now once more, it is 1 more moment away. Can they find that oh so elusive thing? The momentum, the swing.
I wanted a good game 5, and I feel like we're being given it. Gen.G, they're on the back foot, but this game is still very winnable for them. A single good team fight is all they need. The Baron is alive. And here we go. The tango around the purple worm will begin once more. It's BLG first to the objective. The vision control is good. They're sweeping out what little vision Gen.G have. Delight needs to be careful.
Awesome Grace going to hit him. He's going to try and jump away, but the chase is on. The equalizer coming out as well. Delight can look for the re-engage. Doran goes in with the Mega Knob. Hayes now dives onto the back line. Delight already down, but they killed off Elk as well. Shun tries to get in with the Cataclysm, and he'll get the shot down onto Pace. And now it's all on Chovy. He's dashing. He's dancing around the fight. The perfect execution for BLG may be too much. Chovy buys a second, but he just can't buy the win. BLG forced Gen.G out of their own jungle.
And that's going to be the second Baron going over to BLG. And the momentum feels like it's... Oh no, are they not going to try? TPs are available.
They only have one, remember, Bin. No TP on him. Doran dashes across the wall to safety.
He's trying to get the Mega so he can contest the Baron. But without Elk, I guess they're too concerned. They don't want to take the gamble. But here we are. They'll start this one off. The TP comes through. Doran,
It's got to be gone.
He's going to be forced to base. There's no smite. Oh my goodness. What a crazy team fight. The moment I saw Elk drop, I thought, Pace can carry this whole fight. But then it was Yagao's Shockwave combined with Shun's ultimate that was enough to shut him down. Keep your eyes on this fight. Delight just tries to get a ward, and then he gets caught by the Senna.
And we've seen Bin being targeted this time around. It's Delight. But then with Doran getting a knock-up, feels like there might be an opportunity. They immediately blow up Elk, but look at the damage that Bin's able to do as well. And Shun sees his target. He's been so incredible on the Jarvan, even in the losses for BLG. And the moment the pace goes down, there's just not enough damage for Gen.G, even with Chovy still alive.
The execution damage just not there for Chovy. A lot of summoners burn. And time still available for Gen.G, but you have to feel like that there's not much left. BLG with the Baron. See the game-ending play in their eyes. An incredible journey for this team. The organization's first World Championship. But Bin looking to return to the finals.
And an organization that has defied expectations as
The
the
TP
TP comes in behind. Chovy looking for something. Delay already caught out by Bin. He's going to have to dash away on going in with the Abyssal Voyage. Chovy looking for that flank position, but the equalizer coming down, and once again doesn't quite get him into the wall. Elk gobbled up as On is going to spit him out, and the tower's already gone down. Dawning Shadow out as Peanut falls. Everyone on Gen.G is so low. Elk's still full HP pretty much as he heals up with a piercing dark. And Gen.G just cannot find the pick they're looking for.
That's going to be 2 inhibitors down now, and BLG, they might try and look for the end.
And everything invested by Gen.G. No ult on Delight, not on Paze either. Yagao still has the Shockwave to send a shock through the crowd here in Busan. Paze low again, rooted up. The Shockwave just short. The stopwatch from Paze buys a second, but Shun still has the GA. Chovy trying to clear out the minions as the Gnar back from Doran once again.
GA?
But On just tanks for days. GA coming out from Shun, and now it's all on Chovy. It's all on Paze. And we were told Busan was the church of Chovy, but what's a god to 5 non-believers? BLG will face Weibo in semis.
They might have not gone in the same manner as it did at MSI, but it's BLG that walks away the victors. Nonetheless, they reverse the momentum. They don't let Gen.G get the reverse sweep. They will be facing Weibo in the semifinals.
It has not been clean, it has not been easy, but BLG have consistently found